Hey again. I don't know. Earlier, I had in my head the wicked are stalling and falling, and it makes total sense to me. That as a light worker, as we are leveling up and we're kind of finishing class, let's say, you have those tests and you have those lessons you've kept learning, things like that. You start seeing things for what they are rather than what you want them to be. So if you're someone who has been feeling almost like a victim to your life, let me say, or constantly being attacked on an energetic level, mental, emotional, physical, whatever trauma you're going through and you're trying to come out of it, I'm here to tell you that the wicked are stalling and they're falling because it's a shift in the world that we're in. And kind of like the masks are coming off and you're being able to see the truth of the reality in which you've been living. So once you see something, you can't unsee it. It's just like once you learn something, you're not going to unlearn it. It's in you on a cellular level, genetic level. That's why we pass it down to our children. So this is kind of just a message of hope for you to understand that things are hard. They might even get a little bit harder, but keep going. Keep moving forward because if you stop, you stall. If you look back, you could possibly regress back into the life you're trying to get away from. So just take comfort in the fact of knowing that the wicked are starting to fall, that they're illusions. The masquerade, let's say the ball is over. The clock has struck midnight and it's time to go home. So I encourage you to keep fighting your battles, keep healing, keep working on helping others by inspiring them, by speaking your truth, by showing the world what you're made of so other people have the courage to do the same. Because a lot of times we let others hold us back out of fear of judgment or fear of failure even. And I know some of us are so used to not succeeding in life that we actually fear the unknown being the success. And that's one thing that makes you susceptible to those that are wicked because they look at you and they think, you're kind of weak or you're gullible or I can manipulate this situation for my own personal gain. So if you find yourself in that sort of reality, I urge you to switch your mindset and start telling yourself that you are powerful, that you are capable, that you are full of love and light. Start working to attract these things. And then that way you too will start seeing the wicked people around you for exactly who they are. And then when you do see who they are, you'll start noticing that they're stumbling, they're stalling, they're falling. They can't keep up with you. Because when you're empowered by the Holy Spirit, let's say, that that bigger energy, that force that everyone tries to kind of like manipulate, control, empower themselves with to use for their own personal gain. Well, when that's done on a negative mindset of, oh, it's all for me. I'm doing this life for me. That we're not a collective. When you misuse that energy, you start meeting a lot of obstacles in a way. Let's say this goes two different ways as well, because when you're on the right path, you'll still meet those obstacles because those obstacles are meant to stop you. Those are meant to keep you from getting on your life's path so you're not fulfilling your purpose. But also, like I said, on the other side, the negative side, you'll start seeing that there's obstacles that when you're abusing your power, there's certain things that happen to kind of show you, hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. And if you continue to do it, the burdens get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's in the sense where you're losing everything and you're not going to get it back. Because even when your life is shifting and changing from a toxic to a more positive stance, you have to shed those old layers of your life. And that's hard, and it can be confusing a lot of times because you feel like you're being punished. But if you'll take a step back and say, okay, I see that door is closing, look around to see what doors are opening. But understand, a lot of times you're going to have to make your way to that door. That's where those obstacles come in, to where, yes, your old life is fading away, but just like a chrysalis is in that shell, and then it has to lose the shell to get its wings and become the butterfly. So transformation is never comfortable. But if you're having to question, am I a bad person? What do I do? And you're actually questioning, then understand that more than likely you're not the bad person, because bad people don't question their own intentions. They just do what helps them navigate their life in a way that they're going to gain for themselves. So there's always twists and turns to everything that we could communicate to one another. And this is one of those really fine line of, like I said, the best way to find the truth in who you are is if you're saying, am I a bad person? If you're thinking about the things you've said and done to people and how it affected them or it upsets you, and it's not on a vain scale, you're not looking for revenge. It's more so for understanding within yourself. You're more than likely not the bad person, because I remember for years I thought I was a narcissist, and that was being with somebody and having to put on that defense, and that defense actually starts being incorporated into who you are. So the more you're around toxic people and you're trying to fight them in a certain way, beat them at their own game, you start kind of taking on that role of being that person, and you do lose yourself. So if anything, like I said, the only thing I can tell you is that the wicked are stalling and falling. Don't get caught up with them. Start making your way to the exits. And if I need to be an airline pilot, your exits to the left, the right, the front, and the back. You're going to be okay. So, sending y'all love and light, and hoping you find the courage and the strength to keep fighting your way through the muck. So, talk to you later. Bye-bye.